Good afternoon or good morning to everyone. Welcome to a new edition of Smart Talks by MESPAC. And this time it is a pleasure for us to present this webinar by the hand of Mondi, one of our stellar partners. I am Monica Cuatracasas, the Communication Manager at MESPAC. Nice to greet you. Today, we are delighted to have you join us for this session entitled Papering the Future, where we will explore about sustainable solutions for primary and secondary packaging, especially focused on the paper. The webinar is scheduled to last approximately in 45 minutes, and it will be presented by our experts, Eirini Stafila, Application Engineering Platform Leader at Mondi, and Guillem Lloret, Innovation Manager at MESPAC. Following the presentation, we will allocate around 10 minutes for questions and answers, so please feel free to submit your questions during the session through the questions and answers section below. The session will be recorded and we will share it with you for the people who have been registered, okay? So now let me introduce Eirini Stafila, Application Engineering Platform Leader at Mondi. With more than 17 years of experience in plastics processing and product development in an international environment, Eirini continues to serve with passion new sustainable technologies. She holds 2 engineering titles and a recent business degree and is certified life cycle analyst and project manager. In her recent appointment as Application Engineering Platform Leader, her mission is to cultivate further the relationships with strategic partners like MESPAC in order to accelerate sustainable packaging innovation. Good morning, Eirini. How are you today?
Good morning, Monica. Thank you for the introduction. I am great. Looking forward to the webinar.
Okay. Fantastic, Eirini. Now, I'd like to introduce you Guillem Lloret, the Innovation Manager at MESPAC. With more than 9 years in MESPAC, Guillem is the person who leads the innovation team, one of the fundamental pillars of the company. Senior electronic automation engineer with extensive experience in the packaging world, Guillem works closely with the partners and customers, testing with them new solutions in MESPAC innovation centers. Good morning, Guillem. How are you?
Hey, Monica. All good here. As always, glad to be part of this webinar.
Okay, thank you, Guillem. And thank you both for your contributions to this session. With nothing further to add, let's proceed with the presentation. Okay, so today we are going to cover different topics about the paper in sustainable packaging. But first, let me introduce just a quick MESPAC overview. MESPAC, headquartered in Barcelona, is a global leader in flexible packaging and equipment for consumer packaged goods. We are known for our innovation in creating sustainable packaging solutions, especially. MESPAC have been part of Duraban since 2015, a leading player in the world of industrial equipment, headquartered in Illinois. Duraban is a global engineered equipment company with manufacturing, sales, and service facilities through North America, Europe, and Asia. Here you can see that Duraban offers immediate and lifelong aftermarket support across different sectors, serving foods processing, protein processing, packaging equipment, and material handling industries of the worldwide through its diverse portfolio of operating companies and brands. Around MESPAC, established in 1994 as horizontal form fill and seal manufacturer, MESPAC has evolved into a global one-stop shop with extensive services. With sales team in over 90 countries and regional service centers ensuring prompt access to parts, we boast the industry's largest product portfolio, with 380 employees across 17,700 square meters of facilities. Our production centers are in Spain, the US, and in India. Here you can see that we provide solutions for various industries, including food, beverage, pet food, pharmaceuticals, personal care, and home care. But additionally, we serve industries, different industries such as lawn and garden, agriculture, tobacco, automotive, and more. At MESPAC, our talent engineering team designs customized integrated solutions for primary, secondary packaging, and end-of-line processes. Here you can see our extensive portfolio that we offer high precision, efficiency, and versatilized horizontal form, film, and seal machines for flexible packaging, including machinery for pre-made pouches and a wide range of vertical form, film, and seal equipment. Additionally, we provide hydroformer machines for water-soluble pots and end-of-line equipment to fit your secondary packaging needs, offering tanking solution if required. Okay, so that marks the beginning of our introduction to MESPAC, providing you the opportunity to familiarize yourself with who we are. And now, Eirini, it's your turn, and I'll pass you the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about Mondi now, where paper is possible. So, okay. In Mondi, oh no, that was too fast. Okay, so we are 22,000 people across 100 sites in more than 100 countries. We have different facilities, and we're gonna get into detail in the slides to come. But our facilities include paper mills and converting plants that transform the paper or the plastic all the way to the final packaging. We are divided in 3 business units. Corrugated packaging. Here we produce container board from fresh, recycled, and mixed fibers. We are #1 in virgin container boards in Europe, container board producer in emerging Europe, and #1 corrugated solutions producer in emerging Europe. Flexible packaging business unit. This is the business unit that I am part of. And here we are the #1 kraft paper producer in the world. And we are the #1 paper bags producer in Europe and a global leader for the rest of the world. And the #3 consumer flexible packaging producer in Europe. Uncoated fine paper. Here as well, we hold the 2nd place for uncoated fine papers in Europe. So probably the paper that you have in the office is a Mondi paper. And #1, of course, in South Africa, where the company was first founded. All this for a total revenue of 7.3 billion euros, as it has been reported for 2023. We are a vertically integrated company. So we start from the wood, and we have our own forest in South Africa. A couple of years ago, we used to own some forests also in Russia, but we had to invest there. We have our own pulp mills and paper mills. Resins we do buy, but we have our own converting plants. And we can transform all these materials to a final packaging solution. So we can reach the FMCGs with a final product. In Mondi, the sustainability is part of our DNA. So our MAP 2030 sustainability framework is based on 3 main pillars: circularly driven solutions, empowering people, and taking strong action against climate change. All this aligned, of course, to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that you can also see below. And as part of a sustainability leader, we couldn't be also not present in the largest recognitions in the field. So here I would like to outline the EcoVadis 1% platinum status, again for several years in a row, together with other distinctions from different agencies that rate ESGs, and they're widely recognized. In Mondi, we believe that the road to sustainability is a road through partnerships. So we work across all the value chain in order to be able to deliver sustainable solutions. So we are part of several advocacy groups. We collaborate with universities and NGOs, with different recycling and certification bodies. We participate in different pilots and design for recycling guidelines. And of course, we work closely with our customers and OEMs in order to deliver fast, innovative, sustainable solutions. In Mondi, we have several capabilities. As you have seen before, we have more than 100 sites, along with a state-of-the-art pilot plan that is opening in Germany, close to our facility in Steinfeld. We have these two distinct capabilities within the group. One of it is the product impact assessment tool, which is a life cycle assessment tool that we have developed internally. Here we assess mainly climate change and the water usage. We are working to develop also other indexes right now, and we are using primary data from Mondi sites wherever they are available. This tool is used to steer towards the right packaging solution. But we can also provide full life cycle analysis, and we have done several EPDRs in order to publicly use our data that come from these studies. Another unique facility that we have in the group is the Mondi Franchak Recycling Lab. Here, this lab is in our Franchak state-of-the-art paper mill, and we can provide tests according to the CEPI protocol, the version 2, in order to evaluate the recyclability of the different solutions that we can compose in the group. So basically, the take-home message here is, we can offer unique, sustainable solutions that vary from pure paper all the way to complex laminated solutions wherever they're needed. So we can cover the whole range of possibilities, and we will get a little bit into detail further down on what does this exactly entail. So, why paper? Why do you need to move to paper packaging? So, some numbers. End consumers demand more paper. 57% of them, they believe that paper is the easiest solution to recycle. 63% of them, they believe that paper is the better solution for the environment, while 66% of them would rather receive an online order in a paper packaging than in plastic. 70% of them are working towards reducing their plastic packaging use. So, when end consumers demand, retailers and FMCGs respond. So, a couple of examples here, like IKEA, that is determined to move away from plastic packaging solutions by 2028, 2025 for new products, and 2028 for the products already in use. The Ferrero Group, for example, has launched a pilot on their Kinder Delis and Kinder Brioche lines based on paper packaging, and the idea is to expand that to their whole portfolio. Tesco Group, for example, has removed over 5 million plastic films with paper for their own brand oats, and they have replaced also the tissue packs with the paper ones starting last December. The benefits of paper packaging, we can distinguish them in 3 main pillars. So, paper is a renewable resource. With sustainable forest management, we can ensure a continuous cycle of new fibers, and we are not bound to finite resources of energy, polymers, for example, or oil that is required to produce them. And forests are carbon storage, so they can absorb and sink carbon dioxide, and the estimated impact of that is about 860 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent annually for that. Responsible sourcing. Okay, in paper packaging, you can use a high amount of recycled materials. Of course, fibers are not indefinitely recycled, so you need to provide some fresh fibers as well. And but with possible sourcing, you can achieve that without having a negative impact on the environment. 80% of the certified forests are in Europe today, and this is where we mainly source our pulp and wood. And there we are part of very rigid certification schemes in order to make sure that we preserve the forest land, as it is important because it absorbs carbon dioxide, as we previously mentioned. Just to mention that forest in Europe continues to grow. So if you can imagine the growth of the forest, that would be about 15,000 football pitches every day. So as we manage the forest sustainably, forest remains a resource that continues to grow and offer. We have to always keep in mind, of course, that in other places of the planet, the forests diminish and deforestation is a real problem, right? But sustainable and responsible forest management can provide definitely a responsible sourcing solution here. Last, we are talking about a circular product. So if you look at the Eurostat data that are available today, and this is from 2021, the latest ones, paper and cardboard remain the highest recycled material in Europe. So it's quite circular, the paper, right? And again, we should always use it looking at the highest value product first and driving down to lower values in order to make the best use of this circular resource. Apart from that, there is legislation that drives to paper packaging. There in April 2024, the PPWR has been approved by the European Parliament, and it has introduced measurements to reduce the packaging waste and increase the recycling rates. And let's not forget that in countries like Spain, and Italy, and Germany, they have implemented or planning to implement taxes on plastic, right? Spain is already a year and a half in the scheme. Italy, they have postponed it, and Germany is expected to come next year. But of course, you don't need a solution because it's only more sustainable, and it wouldn't be sustainable if it wouldn't fit the requirements that packaging has to fulfill. So you need a solution that seals, you need a solution that fits automation, you need a solution that has the right barriers and provides the right protection for your products. So having said that, let's go a little bit in more details on what we can offer in order to meet all these requirements. So first of all, our main industries here that are aligned with the industries that also MESPAC is serving is the food industry, with fresh and processed meat, cheese, dry food, sugar and confectionery, and tea. We have pet care that is really important for Mondi, and we have home and personal care as well. In Mondi, we are also, the main part of our business are industrial applications, where we use a lot of paper, like paper bags and other types of applications. So let's talk about our main converting technologies. So in Mondi, we are vertically integrated, as I mentioned before, and we have the opportunity to offer different technologies and different solutions. So we can offer extrusion coating solutions, so a paper substrate where you can extrude a polyethylene, polypropylene, biopolymers, different types of materials. We can use dispersion coating. We can do extrusion lamination using different paper and plastic layers and combining them together. The glue lamination, that is the traditional one that most packaging converters can do. And we are investing in high barrier technologies that are going to be installed later this year and available early next year. So with all these technologies, we can offer different solutions, and let's move forward and see how these solutions look like. So functional barrier papers. 95-5, meaning 95% fiber share, 5% polymers, is one of our most famous product lines. Here we can offer different grammages, anywhere from 63 all the way to 140 GSM. Papers, these are applications and products that can be used as primary packaging where not high barrier is needed. I don't know, pasta, rice, dry foods, frozen foods. This can be also converted into a secondary packaging for confectionery, for example, you know. And we have converted very well these materials with mesh pack in stand-up pouches, but also have tested them in flow pack applications later on. These solutions provide a packaging that has less plastic, so it can reduce the EPR fees and the plastic tax to our customers. And this, the 95-5 solution is recyclable in all different streams in Europe, and in some cases it has been also a drop-in replacement for standard PE products. In functional barrier paper, we also have solutions with a lower paper share if the application requires it. I will not forget to mention also that we have options to use recycled fibers as well. So we have our EcoVantage product line where we can use a great percentage of recycled fiber, anyway from 20 to 70%. And some products are also qualified for food applications. These solutions have already been in the market with several applications, varying from ADW to pasta and rice. So very well consolidated within the product portfolio. Then we have our functional barrier paper, select exclusives. These products are done in dispersion, and you can add different barrier layers. Our main product here is the 99 GSM paper. This is based on a CCK paper, so it provides excellent printability. It has 91% paper share, and it provides barrier against water vapor, grease, oxygen, and mineral oils. This solution has been tested with dry soup mixes, with tea, and it provides really, really good barrier. Values here are around 5 cc's at 23 degrees and 50% humidity for oxygen and water. Then we can look into our hybrid-based solutions. These are solutions where we laminate a film substrate with a paper of different grammages. Again, here you're looking at a less plastic tax to pay. This is a more eco-friendly solution, and the perception of the final customer is always very positive. And combining the right film with the right paper, you can also achieve really good sealability. Applications here can be either coffee, stick packs, snacks, wherever you need a high barrier there. Then we have the high products, natural and film. The solution again is a composite of a paper substrate with a preformed film done in extrusion. This is a replacement for packages where aluminum is currently used, up to 85% paper share currently. These are solutions that run into standard lines with very small modifications. And of course, we can tailor-make them to achieve different oxygen and water barriers based on our needs. Several projects in the market with these type of solutions that vary from ADW to dry foods, powders, cake mixes. So all kinds of applications here. This is one that is not related to primer packaging. This is our advanced stretch wrap solution that is replacing the plastic stretch wrap film. You can achieve extremely low carbon footprint compared to virgin stretch film and even stretch film with recycled content. and it provides a great sustainable solution with great performance as well for big pallets up to 1.5 tons. And with that, I would like to summarize our findings for the day. So consumers are demanding paper packaging. There is legislation here that is encouraging the use of paper, replacing plastics. And we have the capabilities in Mondi to offer different solutions tailor-made to the customer needs. And we are here to help our customers together with MESPAC to provide the solution that meets their needs. So with that, I will pass the microphone to Guillem so he can tell us a little bit more of how MESPAC is modifying their lines in order to be able to run more sustainable solutions. So Guillem, the microphone to you.
Thank you very much, Irini. As always, it's very interesting to hear you talk and to see the expertise that you have on your field. Thank you very much for the explanation. So, without further ado, I will start with the motto that we have in MESPAC, which is enabling sustainable packaging for a green world. At the end of the day, we just have one planet, and we strongly believe that we have to take actions, we have to be responsible, that everything that we do for the future onwards must be sustainable. And that's our commitment in MESPAC, and that's why we have partnerships like the one we have at Mondi to be able to come to the market and give a solution that is sustainable and that can be really done and it's feasible today, that you can have it on your machines if you want. So I guess that you have heard a lot about sustainability all over, and everyone is talking about the different arts strategies. So in MESPAC, we also have an arts strategy. So it's the 6R strategy in this case. We have divided in 3 different buckets. The first one is the arts related to materials. So we would have reducing, which is using less, replacing, changing non-sustainable materials for sustainable materials, removing, which would be kind of packaging that disappears. The second bucket would be equipment, basically re-engineering, so creating new technology that can be used for this kind of materials. Retrofitting, that all this new technology that we develop, that we generate, must be able to be used in machines that are already on the market. So not all the new things have to be just for new machines as well. And the last bucket, it's the packaging one, and it comes from reusing. So legislations are pulling us there, but we also believe that single-use packaging has its days counted. So we think that this will disappear, it will be banned, and we will try to do our little piece of sun on that regard also. So going in more detail in each one of these arts, about reducing, we are flexible packaging manufacturers, and this gives us an advantage because flexible packaging, it's per se more sustainable than rigid packaging. Why? Because the amount of product that we use to create structure and to contain the same amount of product, it's much less. If you would compare a doy pack made of paper to a plastic cup or something, you would see that we can have up to 70% less of the materials that we would use. This in the packaging side, but also on the technology side, we have developed different systems to also avoid using as much film. One of them, which would be the one that would come more handy on these developments, is the use of laser cutting systems. With laser cutting systems, what we can do is use up to 3% less amount of materials every time that we need to do some kind of shape, like rounded corners and these kind of stylish things that the marketing guys likes to have on their pouches. The second R, it's replacing the current materials for more sustainable materials. Talking about plastic, I know it's not the topic of today, but I want to put let's say the basis to know, then compare it to paper. We've seen that there are different combinations of plastic in the market that are not considered eco-friendly or sustainable, the PET or nylon and so on. Now we have the new stream of mono materials. These have come with some difficulties on the machine, basically two. The first one is that they are very stretchy, and the second one is that they have very small sealing windows. The good news is that paper avoids both of these effects that we can see on the machine. The first one being stretchy, paper is very rigid. So really when we pull it, we don't see any effect. And when the machine is stopped, we don't see migration of the temperature on the paper. So we don't get losses in regards of this effect. The second one is the sealing window. We have much wider sealing window with paper. We can put high temperature, the paper would seal, and it would work better. But not everything are flowers on the ground. So there are also a couple of things that we need to take in consideration with paper. The first one is what we call the memory effect. So if you make a fold on the paper, that fold stays. It's not like plastic that comes back to its original position. So you have to be extra careful when you handle it all over the line. And when we will get to the technology side of things, I will explain a couple of developments that we have done. The second one is you have to be specifically aware on the triple point area. This is an effect that we also see on plastic, but in this case, the effect is different. As we have less plastic inside to melt, it's more difficult to cover the small cavity that is generated, but good news again, we have some solutions that can overcome that and that can be installed on the machine. The last one on this regard would be that when you form the whole, let's say, tube that you would fill, so the pouch that has this tube form, the overall capacity, so the square centimeters that you would have that can be put inside are a little bit less than what you would get with plastic. This is due to the rigidity of the paper, that it does not accommodate as much. It's not a huge loss, but there is a small loss, and for the sake of transparency, we believe that we need to say that. So as mentioned, there is this mono, let's say, recyclable ready structures. Now we see paperization, it's coming and it's coming strong. Everything related to solids, related to powders, we see that our customers are demanding solutions that would be in line with that. That's why it comes very handy to have this partnership with Mondi, because they can come here, they can test their materials, we can be ready for the market with all the technology that needs to be there. So when a customer comes, we can offer a solution that we are 100% sure that will work. Just some examples, and I will let's say stay with the first one. We have been doing lots of trials with paper for different structures, for different markets, especially for powders, for solids. And the good news is that we've been making almost everything work. So everything that we've tried with Mondi, I think it's been a success. We have nice samples, and we can even show you later on a video where you can see how their material is performing in our line and how we are producing good samples. The third R does not come too much in handy today because it's not related to paper, but basically it's the type of packages that will dissolve in water and that will disappear. So coming back to the second bucket, if you remember, I explained that on the 6R strategies, we have 3 for materials, 2 for machine or equipment, and 1 for packaging. We come to the second bucket, the technological side, what we put on our machines. So with paper, we needed to redesign some parts of our machine, not very invasive big parts, but some of them to overcome the small difficulties that I explained before when I was talking about paper. The first one is how we form the gasset. We cannot, so paper does not like sudden changes. So it does not like when you fold it very fast and very strong. So the way that we fold it to form the gasset needs to be, let's say, a little bit more gentle. So we had to change our standard triangle that has a pointy end and that can scratch the underneath of the gasset in this case, for a different system that we call pizza wheel, that it's a more advanced gasset without pointy ends, with rollers, and which has a part that looks like a pizza wheel. That's why we came with this creative name of calling it pizza wheel. So when you fold, you really are not damaging the material, and you are not creating micro ruptures that could lead to a leak afterwards. On the forming section, the only thing we need to do is add an additional station if 100% tight pouch is required, to be sure that we are sealing properly the triple point. So we have the pizza wheel, we have this station. From this onwards, the only thing we need to do is double check if the opening is good. In some cases, depending on the format, nothing has to be done on the machine. In other cases, we need to add an additional suction cap on the bottom, especially for big formats, just to ensure that we are opening the down of the pouch gently, and it will have the nice shape that we like to feel afterwards. And as I mentioned, all this technology we develop, we cannot just develop it for new machines. We are aware that we have more than 3,000 machines in the market, and we cannot tell to all our customers, hey, look, just throw all your machines to rubbish and buy new ones. Of course, we would like that. It would be a very good business, but we know it's not sustainable long time. So what we've done is that all these that I'm explaining can be retrofitted to existing machines. It's true that it's not 100% of machines, but more than 95%. So if you have any inquiry about that, you can contact our service team, and they can come back to you and make a tailor-made offer for whatever you would need. The last part is for reusing. So for example, with Mondi as well, we have made some samples of paper pouches with zipper. This means that we can open and close the bag. We can use it several times till it's finished. This is a format that you can see, for example, for protein powders in the market. There are different powder-based solutions with this kind of format, and it's a reuse system because at the end of the day, you use a little bit, you fold it, you put it back on your cabinet, and you keep going. And how we face that? What have we done with Mondi? So now it's the time where I will show you the video. You will see the machine that we have in our innovation center that I will explain a little bit more in detail later. So yeah, let's take a look on that. Okay, so as you have seen, we have a very nice machine on our innovation center that we use to make trials. This machine is equipped with all the bits and pieces of technology that we develop for sustainability. Everything I've explained to work with paper is included on that machine. In this case, the sample that you've seen was using zipper, so we have all the toolings for zipper as well. We have other capabilities also to fill powder, but also for liquids to place spouts, even though it's not something that normally you would do for paper, but it's available on the machine. Really, we see a very big benefit for our customers to coming and trial films with us. Basically, we provide a very controlled environment where we can trial this. We have an expert technician who is doing trials every day. We have a very scientific protocol that we follow. So we provide very good results, which are very accurate. At the end of the day, this generates plenty of know-how that we collect, but also our customers who are welcome to come and join us during the trials, and also our partners like Mondi. I think that we all learn a lot by doing these trials. We learn how to manage the materials. Mondi learns how to make them better so they will run faster or smoother. So I think at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everyone. Specifically for our customers, what we tend to do is at the end of the trial, we provide with a report, and this report says all the required technologies to run with this material. Then we can double check that with the current machine our customer would have, and we can recommend a tailor-made retrofit that will make this paper, in this case, work with the most success possible. One very interesting thing is that we avoid downtime on the machine. So our customers, normally they are very busy and they do not like to stop their machine. So by using this kind of service, it's very affordable for them because they don't need to stop their production and they get all the benefits that we've explained before. And yeah, what we do is in this report, we give also all the best set of parameters, so which are our recommendation to work with that material. And we also validate the material. So we do quality tests and we say if that material is good or not to run on our machines, and if we would use it or not at the end of the day, and if we validate it. Yeah, so we have a good expertise and we get more every time that we do more trials, and this is thanks to the partnerships that we get, like with the one we have with Mondi. So as conclusions, we always like to finish with these three sentences, which basically represent what we feel and what we believe. Sustainability challenges are not a matter of the future, but they are really of the present. Let's adapt our machines to enable them to work with sustainable films. We think it's a responsibility that we all have to make our little steps towards sustainability. And that's our goal. It's help our customers in the adoption of sustainable packaging materials. So that's it from my side. I will pass it back to Monica again.
Okay, thank you both, Irini and Guillem, for your participation. The topic Papering the Future has been very interesting to learn more about the possibilities of paper applications into the sustainable packaging options. With an active audience, let's move on to the round of questions and answers. Remember that you have the possibility to make a question for us, and we will answer now. Okay, so let's move on. The first one is there enough paper available to cover all the needs if most plastic packaging had to move to a paper-based material?
Oh, I can take that.
Okay.
So, first of all, not all plastic packaging is going to move to paper. There are certain material restraints that will not allow paper to replace plastic. Let's say a retort application, for example, I don't see how a paper-based solution can fit in a retort chamber. Liquids also are a very challenging application with paper because you will need a sealing layer, and the sealing layers are much smaller than with standard monomaterials or standard material solutions right now. So taking this into consideration, but taking also into consideration that we don't use as much paper as we used to. It's a lot of paper that was first destined to the press and books is not currently used. Also, as we have seen before, the forests are growing because we manage them sustainably and we make sure we replenish them in a rhythm that will allow us to maintain paper as a sustainable resource. I can say yes, that there will be enough paper to cover all the paper packaging needs that are coming up.
Okay, thank you, Irene. More questions that we have here. Another attendee asks, is it complicated to use paper-based solutions on a MESPAC machine?
I can take that one. So basically, as I explained before, it's a matter of assessing how this paper can run on our machine. To say straightforward, I would say that yes, almost all papers can be used. It's just a matter of if they get to what you would like them to make. We always recommend doing trials on our innovation center. This is the way where we can be 100% sure if, first of all, from a MESPAC point of view, we validate that paper in a functional side. So how well does it run in the machine? And the second, which things need to be added or not to your current machine to make this work.
Okay, thank you, Guillem. More questions. We have another questions related to the topic today. What are the main compromises that a brand has to do if they were to move to a paper packaging solution?
Okay, I can respond to that. So Guillem has already lined out several constraints when it comes to paper packaging. The volume might not be the same. It's more rigid. You need to adjust the line in order to run paper in some cases, in most of the cases. And also, depending on the type of paper that you're going to choose, if you would like to have a natural feel and you will go for craft paper, then you have to do some compromise on the graphic part. And this is something that marketing does not always appreciate because you cannot get the same effect as in plastics. Shelf life in some cases, when you have to, let's say, replace something that used to have aluminum with something where aluminum is not present, then you're looking at a shelf life reduction. And it's up to the brand to evaluate if the current shelf life represents a realistic need or is based on the historical values that they used to have. In some cases, closures could be different. Let's say in a paper packaging, for example, you don't necessarily need the zipper because paper has memory, so you can fold it. And this is actually an extra benefit of paper packaging because you can increase much more the paper share of your solution. And I mean, the folding effect that Guillem mentioned later before, and that would summarize most of the challenges that brands have to face when it comes to paper packaging.
Okay, thank you, Irene. We have more questions here. Another one is, how can I book a trial slot on the Innovation Center machine?
You can do it two different ways. It's pretty straightforward. Either you write me an email or you can contact us through our webpage. The process is easy. Basically, we will discuss what would you like to trial, in this case, paper, but we have to define which formats, if we need to fill or not. With that, we define the full scope of the trial. We count how many days will be required. We would provide the quotation, and with that quotation, once we get the PO, we block the days, we conduct the trial, and we give you the results.
Okay, we have more questions. Another one is, any current examples for liquids with high protect?
Now, liquids are quite challenging. It took us a long time to find out a good solution with monomaterials. So with paper, it's going to be a big challenge. And honestly, I don't know that we're going to get there. But it's further down the road in terms of validation, a paper-based solution for liquids.
Okay. Another question. How can the multi-barrier paper solution be recycled?
Now, I can take this one too, if you don't mind. Multi-layer solutions, when we say a material is recyclable, we use the CEPI protocol to evaluate that, right? And the CEPI protocol allows for a certain percentage of rejects, fine and coarse. Then it evaluates the optical homogeneity of the samples that you produce and how sticky these samples remain after recycling. So based on this protocol, which is going to be the dominated one in Europe within the years to come, we can say that a multi-layer structure with certain requirements, of course, with a certain paper share and a certain plastic share can be recyclable.
So another question, in the recent years, there has been an immense effort to create recyclability guidelines for plastics. How well is recycling of coated paper understood? What is the impact of coating on recyclability and microplastic?
Okay, I can take that one too. Again, we assess recyclability based on the CEPI protocol. And yes, coatings might be challenging, but assessing it with a specific protocol that is recognized by the industry, we can claim that a packaging is recyclable with different coatings. Microplastics is a concern, of course, but we have solutions that minimize that effect or eliminate completely that effect.
Okay, another question now is from Asian market. What is your take on implementing paper as a primary packaging in countries with tropical weather, example, Asian countries? In comparison to European countries, do we need an extra strong barrier for us to retain the current shelf life of product as it is with aluminum barrier?
Okay, I can take this one too, if you don't mind, Monica.
No, that's fantastic.
So today, right now, we are using, we're combining a thin plastic film with specific barriers with a paper-based solution. So the barriers remain the same at the end in this case. So in this case, for a tropical climate, I would not recommend a solution with dispersion coating, but rather a combination of a pre-made film with that is going to be laminated in extrusion or with regular adhesives for such an application. So barriers, they remain indifferent. Of course, we don't offer the holy grail, so each application has to be evaluated individually. And we need to understand exactly what is the objective of our final customer, what is the shelf life that they're willing to, they would like to achieve, and what are the compromises that they can do as well.
Afterwards, you can also send us questions and we will respond more in detail if you need it. So another attendee asks, do you also have water-soluble paper available? And can you flush it down the sink, for example, with soup content?
I can take that one too. So
you do all the work, Irene. You have to come more.
I would not recommend a paper to be flushed down the sink. I mean, right now we have solutions that are soluble. For example, the pots that you guys are making. So why would you use paper to do that?
Okay.
I don't see it as a good application.
Okay, another question. To which degree can recycled paper be used for a direct food contact applications?
Now, we do have grades that are certified for direct contact. It's limited because you have to make sure that you control the whole supply chain. But we do have a limited number of solutions that can be used for food contact applications as well.
Okay. Have you done any paper testing in the US?
Paper testing, like recyclability testing, or
It's not at this.
From
No?
well,
From
some of the papers have been also tested with the University of Michigan recycling method. In the US, when it comes to sustainable solutions, they're a little bit behind respect to Europe, but they're also catching up. And if there's any need, I mean, we had a request that emerged last week, right, Guillem, for a paper-based solution for the US. So
Yes.
we are working on that too.
From our side, we have testing units in the US as well. We have one in Freeport and another one in Rochester, but we do not have, let's say, all the technology I've explained before to work with paper. So till today, all the paper trials are centralized here in Barcelona, where we have done plenty of trials, by the way.
Okay. So have you done any paper? Sorry, this has been response. Sorry. Any example of success story conversion from multi-layer film to paper based on liquid product? I think it's similar to another one.
No liquid.
No, liquids are
Yeah.
challenging. We might evaluate sachets maybe for creams, but if we're thinking about a liter and a half, for example, of soap with paper-based solutions, I see it very challenging. We have not tested it yet, but
I don't know this.
it's going to be.
What we've seen also is that when you make drop tests with liquid, the way that the liquid could expand along the sealing surface, the mechanical sealing force that you get with plastic or with paper, it's different. So most definitely, we think that the package would not withstand that, and a drop test would break it. So I agree with Irene that say paper, it's not today. Maybe tomorrow will be, but today it's not the best for liquid.
Okay. Can paper packaging be compatible with a spout?
Go ahead.
Yeah, from our experience, normally, as you want the paper to be considered recyclable, the amount of plastic surface or thickness that you will have inside tends to be small. Otherwise, the ratio between paper and plastic would not comply with the recyclability standards. When this happens, then you do not have enough plastic layer to seal with the spout, which is plastic. Also, the plastic of the spout adds more plastic weight to the total average. So we do not see that because it does not make much sense from the sustainability standpoint. With that said, we've seen some solutions for sugar, for example, because sugar is a product that does not need barrier. But in this case, it was a little bit greenwashing because it had a very thick layer of plastic with a little bit of paper on the outside. So it looked like paper, but it was more plastic than paper.
Okay, clear. Thank you. And more questions. Is there any solution to packaging instant coffee, soluble coffee, to replace flexible packaging in stand-up pouch?
Well, we have recently tested at MESPAC a couple of different solutions with barrier films and a great percentage of paper. So yes, that could be feasible. So please reach out to us later on so we can identify exactly your needs in terms of paper share, in terms of machine line speed, and we can identify definitely something that fits your needs.
Okay, there are more questions, but no more time. So if you need to finish your questions, you can send us an email and we will send you the answer. So thank you, Irene and Guillem, and thank to all of you for trust and being here today with us. We invite you to contact MESPA as well as Mondi for any questions, and we encourage you to contact by sending an email to marketing@mespac.com. If it's a question for Mondi, we will send that question to them. And looking forward to seeing you soon to our next Smart Talks, and have a great afternoon or morning, and best regards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Monica. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.